One comment, one rude look, and suddenly your chest gets heavy, your mind gets loud, and you replay it all day like a broken song. You don't lose the day because of what happened. You lose it because you reacted on autopilot. But you're not too emotional. You're just carrying too much. Here's the truth most people never learn. The person who controls their reaction controls the moment. That's real power, and you're fully capable of it. If you're ready to stop letting other people rent space in your head, comment 1 right now. I want to see how many of us are choosing calm over chaos. Stay with me. This story will give you one simple shift that makes emotional control feel natural, not forced. No hype, no fake positivity, just quiet strength you can use today. Have you ever noticed how fast your peace can disappear? You wake up normal. Coffee tastes fine. Your plans feel possible. Then someone says something small. Maybe a sarcastic, "sure," from a coworker, a passive-aggressive text, a stranger's dirty look. And it's like a switch flips. Your shoulders tighten, your jaw locks. Your mind starts building a whole courtroom case, and you're both the judge and the prisoner. The worst part? The moment is already over, but you keep living in it. You replay the tone, you rewrite what you should have said, you imagine winning the argument that isn't even happening anymore. And while you do that, your real life, your work, your family, your energy, gets robbed, quietly, minute by minute. Most people think this is just stress, but it's deeper. It's emotional weight you pick up without noticing, like carrying invisible stones in a bag on your back. 1 stone per insult, 1 per disappointment, 1 per disrespect. And after a while, you don't feel angry. You feel tired. That's exactly how Ethan lived. On the outside, he looked fine, strong, capable, handling it. But inside, he was constantly bracing for the next hit. A joke that felt like a jab, a comment that sounded like disrespect, a simple okay that he heard as rejection. And every time it happened, something in him snapped awake like a guard dog. He'd fire back, or he'd stay quiet and burn for hours. Either way, the damage was the same. Because Ethan had a habit he didn't even realize. He collected emotional pain. In his mind, every ugly moment became a stone, a heavy, cold stone with a label on it. Not good enough. They don't respect you. You should have said more. And without thinking, he would pick it up and drop it into an invisible bag on his back. At first, it didn't seem like much. 1 stone doesn't break a man. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The bag got heavier, and Ethan got sharper, less patient, more defensive, more exhausted. He wasn't angry because he was mean. He was angry because he was carrying a weight nobody else could see. The breaking point didn't come from something big. That's what surprised Ethan. It was a normal afternoon. Traffic loud, phone buzzing, life moving too fast. He stepped into a meeting already carrying 10 invisible stones from the day. A rushed email, a coworker's cold tone, a text left unread. His bag was full before anyone even spoke. Then it happened. A colleague glanced at his notes and said, half smiling, "You sure this is right?" Not yelling, not even cruel, just enough. Ethan felt it like a slap. His face warmed. His heart started punching his ribs. In his head, the courtroom lights came on. "They think you're stupid. You're being tested. Don't look weak." He snapped back, sharp, defensive, louder than he meant to be. The room went quiet in that uncomfortable American way. Polite faces, tense eyes, everyone suddenly busy with their laptops. And right there, Ethan realized the truth. Nobody ruined the meeting. He did. Because he reacted. The moment ended, but the weight didn't. He walked out with a new stone in his bag, heavier than the rest. Regret. Ethan didn't drive home that day. He drifted. Not because the roads were hard, but because his mind was louder than the engine. He kept replaying that moment, frame by frame, like he was trying to find the exact second where he could have saved himself. The truth was ugly. He didn't just lose the room, he lost control. Later, he stopped by a small corner shop he'd never noticed before. An older man behind the counter greeted him with the kind of calm that feels almost impossible, like nothing in the world could rush him. Ethan finally said it out loud, almost like a confession. How do you stay so peaceful? People are people. The old man didn't argue. He didn't lecture. He simply reached under the counter and placed a smooth stone on the table. See this? He asked. Ethan nodded. This stone is what happens to you. Then the man held out his empty hand and looked Ethan straight in the eyes. But the stone you carry home, the one you keep squeezing all day, that's your reaction. Ethan swallowed. The man leaned in, voice gentle but firm. You're not tired from life. You're tired from what you refuse to put down. The old man slid the stone closer. Most people think emotional control means never feeling anything, he said. That's nonsense. You're human. He tapped the stone once. The real skill is what you do in the 2 seconds right after the trigger. Ethan frowned. So what do I do? The man didn't give him a speech. He gave him a pause. Next time you feel that heat rise, before you text back, before you clap back, before you defend yourself, do this. Step 1, pause. Take 2 slow breaths. Not to be nice, to take your power back. Step 2, ask one question. Do I want to carry this? Ethan stared at the stone, then at his own hand. He finally understood. The insult can be thrown at you, but the weight only becomes yours when you pick it up. The old man smiled. Calm isn't weakness. Calm is leadership. It's you deciding your life is too valuable for someone else's bad mood. If you want the next part, how Ethan used this in a real conflict and changed everything, stay with me. And if this hit home, a simple like helps more people find it. The next time it happened, Ethan felt it instantly. A coworker cut him off mid-sentence and said, "Let's move on." That familiar heat rose, chest tight, pride screaming, mind already loading the perfect comeback. Old Ethan would have snapped, or smiled and secretly bled for hours. But he remembered the stone. He didn't force a fake calm. He simply paused. 2 slow breaths. Inhale, exhale. Then one quiet question inside his head. Do I want to carry this? For the first time, he noticed something shocking. The disrespect was real, but the suffering was optional. He chose not to pick it up. He said, steady and simple, "Sure, I'll share the key point after." No drama, no apology for existing, just control. Later that night, Ethan realized his bag felt lighter, not because people changed, but because he did. That's how you win, not by fighting harder, but by staying calm longer. That night, Ethan didn't scroll. He didn't numb out. He didn't replay the day like a punishment. He sat on the edge of his bed, lights low, and gave himself 1 minute. Not because he was broken, but because he was done carrying what wasn't his. He placed one hand on his chest and breathed slowly. Then he asked, gently, what was the heaviest moment today? Not the loudest, just the one that still had a grip on him. Maybe it was that interruption, Maybe it was the look. Maybe it was the way his voice almost shook. He named the feeling in one word: anger, or shame, or hurt. In his mind, he pictured it as a stone in his hand, solid, cold, real. And then, quietly, he whispered, "This stone is not mine to carry." On the exhale, he imagined placing it on the ground, letting the day end without dragging it into tomorrow. Nothing magical happened. The world didn't change. But his body did. His shoulders dropped. His breathing softened. And for the first time in a long time, he fell asleep without a heavy bag on his back. And that's the real meaning of emotional control. It's not pretending you're fine. It's not being positive. It's choosing what deserves your energy. People will still be rude. Life will still be unfair. Triggers will still show up at work, in traffic, in your own home. But the lesson Ethan learned is the lesson that saves your peace. You can't stop a stone from landing in front of you, but you can stop picking it up. Because the moment you react without thinking, you hand your power away. You let someone else's mood drive your body, your words, your day. But when you pause, when you breathe, when you choose, you don't just stay calm. You lead yourself. So if you've been carrying a bag of old hurts, old arguments, old regrets, let tonight be the night you put one stone down. Just one. That's how strength starts. Small, quiet, consistent. If this story gave you something real, tap like so more people find it, and share it with someone who's been carrying too much. And if you want more life-changing stories like this, subscribe. I've got you.